Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. It's your boy, Jim Hacking. Hope you all are doing well. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. It's episode number 261 of the Immigration Answer Show. I am here for the full hour. I will be answering as many of your immigration law-related questions as I can. Happy Wednesday to everybody. I would be thrilled if everybody would go ahead and let me know where they're watching from. Leave us a shout out in the comments. Tell us who you are, why you care about immigrants, what you're fighting for, what the benefit is you're after. I shot a new video this morning with my man, Justin, and it was about this concept of the next available benefit. So if you are an immigrant living in the United States and you are on a non-immigrant visa or an immigrant visa, you should always be thinking about what is the next available benefit to me. How do I move up that immigration ladder if I want to become a U.S. citizen? What are all the steps, all the things I need to think about, all the processes and forms that I will need to file in order to get that next available benefit? Also, you want to make sure that you keep track of what is that next available benefit and when is the date that it's available. What do I need to do to put myself in the best position to not only hold on to the immigration benefit that I have, but set myself up for success? So, for instance, if you're on OPT, you got to be thinking about what comes next, H-1B. If you get that H-1B, you're thinking about what comes next after that. And that, of course, would be a green card. And once you get that green card, you're thinking about the next step up the ladder, and that would be U.S. citizenship. Once you're a U.S. citizen, you don't necessarily need to think about any more immigration benefits, but you could be thinking about sponsoring a family member. Go ahead, if you haven't already, let us know where you're watching from. We got Florida, Kentucky, Cleveland, South Central Missouri, Austin, Texas, sunny Seattle. What? It's sunny in Seattle? Say it ain't so. St. Louis, Fort Worth, Texas, Denver, Finland. We got Auntie watching in Finland. Hello, Finland. Happy to see you. Atlanta. We got the Bronx. We got Florida. We got SoCal in the house. Well, that's good. Hopefully that's San Diego, my favorite place, or more particularly La Jolla, which is my real favorite place. Oh, Robert's in LA. Ricardo's in Cleveland. We got Victorville, California. I don't know where that is. We got Maryland. Look at this. We got the waiting room ready to go. Antigua and Barbuda. I don't know Barbuda. I'll have to ask Ibrahim, my son. He's the resident geography expert. Emmanuel was the first person in the waiting room, and Emmanuel's going to go first. I think Emmanuel was even here yesterday trying to get on the show. Emmanuel, how are you?
Hi, Jim. Thank you for welcoming me today. I missed you yesterday.
What's going on?
Oh, everything is good. I don't know, not many in my situation. Yeah, I'm an international student on F1. I came to the US in August of 2018. Yeah, before I came to the US, my mom was on a green card. So when I came to the US as an F1 student, I went to another state, which was New York, and she's in Minnesota. After a year, she got a citizenship. Yeah, so I graduated with my undergraduate. In 3.5 years, I got an OPT for 6 months and I applied for graduate school. And I got accepted to do my graduate study, which is master's degree. But now my mom filed for me. I fill out my I-130, but I'm over 21. So I have a couple of questions. I don't know. Would there be a problem or will it take a longer time for me to get my I-130 approved? And also, what would be the possibility of me getting accepted for a green card or rejection?
So, when did mom become a citizen?
20, I'm sure 2019 or 2020, because well, yeah, what 2019.
And when did mom file the I-130 for you?
She did in 2022.
Oh, just this year.
Yeah.
Okay. When have you started your master's degree program already?
Yeah, I'm in a master's degree program.
When will you finish your master's degree?
Oh, be finishing my master's degree, hopefully 2024, and continuing for a PhD. Yeah, but for now, in the master's degree.
And will you do OPT after your master's?
Not too sure. Maybe I might do OPT. Like that's what I'm trying to think because if the process doesn't work the way I want it, maybe I'll just continue school. Because I actually
Mhm.
applied directly for a PhD, but I got into the master's, the PhD track, meaning I will go through a master's program and after that go to a PhD.
And what is your field of study?
I'm in biostatistics. We
What is
focus
it?
on
Biostatistics?
biostatistics. Yeah,
Is that a is
focus.
that a STEM is that a STEM field?
Yeah, like infectious disease,
Hmm.
vaccine, and clinical trials. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So, in what country are you from?
I'm for Liberia.
Okay, great. So right now they're working on F2B or F2Bs, which is what you would be, the adult unmarried child of a green card holder of a citizen. Oh, hold on. Let me check. Okay, so you're the unmarried son of a U.S. citizen, and they're working on cases from December of 2014. So that's about an 8-year wait. So mom filed in 2022, which means that if things stay on the same track, you'll be eligible for a visa in 2030, right? So that's 7 years from now. Um, the problem is there's a couple things you need to think about. One is that if you ever leave the United States and have to get a new stamp in your passport, the embassy is going to give you a hard time renewing your F1 because the F1 is a non-immigrant visa and that's inconsistent with your I-130 that your mom filed. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it because I'm into a more research field, and there's a possibility of me getting a research opportunity to go do research outside of the university or probably a conference. So now month five for me. I don't know if it's possible to come back.
So, um, let's just be clear about a couple things. Number one is your F1 has expired, right? The stamp in your passport is no longer valid, right?
Yeah, my F1 starter was transferred to my graduate program.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, so when you went to the embassy, when you first came, they put a stamp in your passport, right? For your
Yeah,
F1.
yeah,
And it had an expiration date on it. What was the expiration date on your F1 visa?
2019, which is 1 year after.
Yeah, so it's expired. So as of right now, if you go to Canada, if you go to Mexico, you can't come back in the United States unless you go to the embassy and get a stamp in your passport. Do you understand that, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I'm getting you. I understand that. I cannot.
Yeah, so if you leave the United States, if you go to Oxford to study, to do research, if you go to a conference, you're screwed because they're not going to give you an F1 because your mom filed an I-130 petition for you. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand
So
that.
you're stuck in the United States basically until 2030 if we're relying on mom's application. Now, mom's application, they're not going to work on her case really fast. That'll probably take 3 or 4 years to get approved, but that's okay because you've got a 7 or 8 year wait anyway. So I think you should be thinking about if you want to get, I mean, you do have a path to a green card, but I'm wondering if you shouldn't think about trying to find an employer to sponsor you for a green card too, because that might be faster.
Yeah, like that's something I was thinking of too because I got my undergraduate degree in physics. So I tried applying, but I couldn't get the kind of job that maybe you
Mhm.
might lead to sponsorship. That's the main reason why I applied to graduate school.
Well, I mean, the other thing is that you could, like, I would, if I were you, and this was my plan, I would have done 3 years of OPT on your undergraduate degree, and then done 3 years of OPT on your master's degree, and then start your PhD program, because that should get you pretty close to the time that your visa number becomes current on the application that your mom filed. Does that make sense?
Okay, okay, okay.
So you wanna slow down your education background. You wanna take as long as you can on your master's, then do 3 years of STEM on OPT, then apply for your PhD, and then hopefully around that time, when you're in the middle of your PhD program, your visa number will become current, and then you file for a green card. That's what I would do.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I have another question. Why my I-130? I received a first notification from USCIS. Uh, Down after the notification, because they said my service center was cut. Then the next day, I received center is Nebraska.
Don't
So we said
don't
that's
don't they're not gonna decide your I-130 for 4 years. You should spend zero time thinking about what service center it has, because there's nothing you can do about it. And your case is way down on the list because you can't get a green card for 8 years, so they're not in a big hurry to do your I-130. I'm gonna let you go,
okay,
Emmanuel, because
okay,
the
okay.
internet connection is driving me crazy. All right, thanks, Emmanuel. Thanks for the call. We appreciate that. That was a lot of good questions. Hopefully, some people figured some stuff out. Let's say hi to Ricardo. Hi, Ricardo.
Hey Jim, hi. Nice to meet you again.
How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I talked to you a few months ago because everything was late in my case. I came here as an L1, but eventually they transferred my case from Texas Service Center to Tucson, Arizona, and they requested medical and they approved it. Here it is, my green card. I got it
Congrats.
finally. Yeah,
That's great. I'm happy.
yeah. Yeah. Now, I have a question for you. I have a biological son who lives in Brazil. He's 12 years old. What are my options if someday he wants to move to US?
You're on his birth certificate?
Yeah, I do have it. Yeah, in English and
Does
Portuguese.
What's the position of his mother as far as him coming to the United States?
At this moment, she's not in favor of it, but I'm hoping that when usually in Brazil, when the child turns 14, the judge takes the child's opinion. Of course, she still has to sign some paperwork for me, but
Okay, so I don't know about, I mean, to me, that part is more family law, and then there's the
hmm
immigration piece. So I can't really talk about the Brazilian family law part. I can talk about the immigration part. So he's 12 now, you said?
correct, 12.
So whenever you want, I'm not saying when to do it, but whenever you want, now that you have your green card, you can file an I-130 petition for your son. You could do it tomorrow. You could wait till he's 14. It's going to take a year and a half or two for it to process. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about doing it. But as a green card holder, you can file an I-130 petition, and that would go to USCIS and would take about a year and 2 or 3 months to approve. Then it would go to the National Visa Center. Then it would go to the embassy in Brazil. And then eventually your son would have an interview, and he'd go in and bring his passport, get his immigrant visa, and come to the United States. And then he'd get a green card a couple months later. So depending, that's just pure immigration. I don't know about the family piece.
Now, I have a question. I've heard about something called follow to join. Does that
Yeah.
apply in my case?
No. You have to file a straight I-130 for him.
Straight I-130. Okay.
Yep.
Now, if I file an I-130, does he have to come, or does we can withdraw that?
No. Well, I mean, that's why I was saying, I wouldn't file it until you're sure that it's time for him to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, with that 2 year and a half delay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I want to get a place in line right now.
Yeah, but once, like, let's say you filed it now, and he turned 14, and when he was 14, he wasn't ready, but when he was 16, he was ready. As long as you kept the case alive at the National Visa Center, you could still rely on that I-130. You'd have to just check in with them once a year, and you could slow walk it until he's actually ready. So I would err on filing it sooner rather than later, but you can always withdraw it. Not that you don't want to keep filing for them and withdrawing them. You want it to be pretty serious once you go. But I understand the family part of it. So I would say maybe give it a year, then apply, and then as
Hmm.
things get, probably for college, he's going to want to come. So
Yeah, that's
um,
what I'm thinking. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
maybe wait
Maybe
till he's fit.
because right now he's elementary, maybe for high school and then college.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay. What if he comes in an F1 here? Can he adjust status if he comes in an F1 eventually?
Yes, he could. It'd be similar to the caller I just had, except he'd be under 21, so it'd be faster for him. But yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing you need to think about, Ricardo, is I don't know, is the plan for him to come visit you from time to time now, in the United States? Like, has he ever applied for a visit visa?
Not yet, but I'm thinking in getting him a B1/B2 so he can visit here.
So do that before you apply for the I-130, because I mean, at least apply for it. They might not give it to him because they might think he's trying to jump the line and just come in to live with his green card holding dad. But don't file the I-130 until after you try to get the visit visa, because once you apply for the I-130, it's going to be hard to get the visit visa
Gotcha. Gotcha.
because
Okay.
those are inconsistent, because one's an
Yeah,
immigrant visa, one's a non-immigrant visa. So once he demonstrates
mm,
immigrant intent by you filing an I-130 petition form, then it's less likely they're going to give him a visit
hard
visa.
time.
Yep.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. He had the L2 visas, but those expired already. He was my dependent on my
Hmm.
L1. Hmm.
Has he ever
But
been in the United States?
no, so I'm going, and right now the queues are huge to get like they are scheduling
Sure.
for September for a B1/B2 in Brazil.
Like 11
So
months?
yeah,
Yeah.
for next year only. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a B1/B2 first.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ricardo. Thanks for
yeah.
coming on the
Appreciate your
show. And
time,
I'm,
fan.
I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
got your green
Good
card.
talking
See you,
to you.
buddy.
Yeah, I'm so happy, man. Thank you and good
Later.
job.
All right. Well, we're always happy when people come back with good news. Now, listen, if you haven't already, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We love to hear from our fantastic followers. Thank you, Nadir. We always like to hear from our fantastic followers. If I haven't already, let me give a shout out to Skyla. Skyla is one of my favorite team members. If you don't know Skyla, she's got the best glasses in the world. Nobody has better glasses than Skyla. But I wanted to mention that we have some big news tomorrow, sometime around lunchtime. Oh, there it is. The new website is launching. Now, our marketing team, specifically our friends G and Maho and some of our contractors, have been working really hard on getting the new website up and running. And today the team got a sneak preview of it, and I think the team was really, really excited. Our number one focus here at Hacking Immigration Law is that we fight for immigrants every day. And it occurred to the marketing team that we don't have many pictures of immigrants up on the website. So tomorrow it's going to be a much fresher look, a much cleaner look. It sort of fits with our brand book and our color scheme. I can't wait to hear your comments on it tomorrow. Maybe we can highlight a little bit on the show tomorrow, get your feedback. And then, of course, if you notice anything in the website that's off tomorrow, please send us a message. Okay, we got people watching in Tampa and New York. Sandra's watching in Charlotte. We got London, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Oh yeah, Teen. Hi, Teen. We got Ghana, of course. We always have somebody in Ghana watching. Baltimore, the Twin Cities. Henry, I was just in the Twin Cities visiting your lovely colleges, the University of Minnesota and Macalester College, which was a nice little liberal arts school between St. Paul and Minneapolis. We got Alabama, another one in Ghana. Thank you, Desmond. Virginia, Pakistan. Skyla is announcing the website. And then we have Ohio and Houston, Texas. Now, that makes me happy. I love to see everyone all over the world watching. I'm really waiting for the day we have somebody from Namibia coming on the show. So if anybody knows anyone in Namibia, which is in southeastern Africa, make sure that you let someone in Namibia know about the show, because I really want to have a guest on from Namibia. And another thing, just so everybody knows, there's two things I want to happen in my life. I'll be very happy. One is if people start calling me Tio. That's one thing I want to happen. And the other thing I want to happen is I want to get invited to a quinceanera. So if you know anybody who is in St. Louis having a quinceanera, those are my two life goals: to be called Tio and to go to a quinceanera. So I'm just putting that out into the universe, hoping to manifest it. All right, we're gonna stop being silly. Although both those things are true. We got L.A., Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, Washington. Oh, and Desmond's gonna hook me up with Namibia. That's what I'm talking about. We got to have someone from Namibia on. All right, and Alejandra was wondering who won the Guess What's Coming Next contest, and that went out in today's email. So let me tell you the name of the person. Here we go. It was the winner was Alexandra. Oh, is that you, Alexandra? Alexandra, is that the same Alexandra? Alexandra won. Oh, that's Alejandra. And hold on, we have Alejandra and Alexandra. So Alexandra won. Alexandra won a half hour talking with me next week. So we're very excited about that. And yes, Alejandra, I have two nieces, and I have three nieces and three nephews. So maybe they can call me Tio. All right, let's get back to work and let's talk to Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing? What's going on?
Thank you for having me again. So, I have one simple question. As I told you there at the other time, I have a petition from my father, invitation. So, 16 months, no interview, as I was telling you, here in Greece, in the embassy.
This is for a visit visa or what?
It's it's an immigrant visa. He invited me, my father.
Well, you mean when you say invite you, you mean he filed an I-130 petition for you that USCIS approved?
Exactly, yeah. And I submit all the documents, and now I'm waiting. Just the embassy called me for an interview, just to give me the green card, whatever.
Good.
Also, I have, like, years ago, I have a tourist visa, non-immigrant visa, B1, B2.
Yep.
So all these years before, I was going back and forward just to go see my father.
Sure.
So I have a problem. It might be a problem. The last time I was over there, it was on 2018.
Okay.
So on March 2020, I was supposed to come back to Greece.
And that's when COVID hit.
Yes, exactly. But 3 days before my travel go back to Greece, I find out that British Airways, my flight ticket, they cancel all the flights.
Sure.
So I call my lawyer and I tell him just to do fast to apply the extension, because I know that I can file extension another 6 months.
Right.
But my lawyer told me, like, as soon as possible, when I'm going to find a new flight in a month, I have to leave.
That's
it's
what
not, it doesn't mean that I have to wait another 6 months till they answer me negative or positive about my extension.
Yep.
So my first date was to leave from there on March 26th, 27th, and I found a ticket and I left from US on 1st May.
Okay, so when was your 6 months up?
It was on March 26th or 27th. I don't remember. It was around that
Okay,
date.
and when did you actually leave?
May 1st.
Okay, so just like a month and a week late.
Yes, but my lawyer gave me a copy of the
receipt notice
that we filed. Yeah, we filed the extension visa for another 6 months. So my question is, now I'm thinking to go visit my father again. Do you think I'm gonna face any problem on the customs?
When is your embassy interview, or did you already have it?
I don't have it. I don't know yet. They didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So when did USCIS approve the I-130?
It was when they approved it. I was over there in the US, so that was like late. I think it was November, December 2018. Yes.
Okay, so the State Department has had the case for like 3 years and they haven't done anything?
2019. So when I went back, I was on 2020 May.
Yeah.
My lawyer said I have to submit some documents about
Okay.
my criminal records, military records, whatever.
Okay.
So
Right, but you've been waiting for the State Department to give you an embassy interview for 3 years,
yeah,
right?
yes.
Okay. So, I mean, that's really weird that it's taken that long, even with COVID.
I become documentarily qualified on June 2021.
Okay,
I
so
don't know,
that's 16 months ago. Yeah, it's a long
Yeah.
time. I don't think I would mess around with a visit to dad. I would just wait. Hopefully you get the green card interview, the interview for the immigrant visa in the next couple months. I do think you might have trouble re-entering because of the overstay. We had somebody on the show the other day who got some grief from CBP. And with you being this close to getting your green card, I would say that if you don't have your interview by the end of the year, call me back and we should sue them in January because you've been waiting way too long.
Sure, Jim. Sure. So your opinion is just to stay over here and just wait till the time they're gonna call me for the interview and the embassy in Athens, right?
Yep.
Just to make sure everything okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want you messing with customs when you're this close to getting your immigrant visa.
Okay. And if I don't hear anything about the embassy, I'm gonna call you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna be in touch. Anyway, I'm watching your videos and your show every day.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Always good to see Tony. Always glad to hear about Greece representing. Looks like Skyla thinks Padrino is good too. I don't mind Padrino. There's Skyla, but she doesn't have her glasses on in that picture. You all got to see Skyla with her glasses on. Maybe one day she'll come on with her glasses. All right. Let's say hi to Olan Rawaju.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, let me start from my dad. He's very old school. It's funny. He became a U.S. citizen in 2009, or thereabout, or 2008, and then he moved back to Africa, to Nigeria, and then he never came back to the U.S. However, a few years ago now, my dad is 76. He's gonna be 77 in December. He had health issues, and so I decided to apply for a B2 and brought him to the US for treatment. And I came in March, end of March this year, 2022. However, now I've overstayed. I'm out of status. I've stayed over 6 months, and the challenge is I don't know if we could find something with which to apply because he is he's old. He can work, and I can work, and we're surviving in the U.S. with money from Africa. So it's a little bit difficult. Is there anything I could do other than
What's difficult?
difficult? That is, I'm not working. He's not working since he's old, and he's having to go to the hospital every single week.
But why doesn't he go to the hospital in Nigeria? Or
Oh,
I mean, here's the thing: they don't care about you.
okay.
And they barely care about him. So he can stay as long as he wants, but you've overstayed. There's nothing that you can apply. You can't say, can I get an extension of my visit visa in order to help dad? So you need to go back home like yesterday, because if you get over 6 months, then you're going to have a 3-year bar on coming back.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think that's just it. That's all.
All right, Ola. See you, buddy. Good luck to your dad. All right. That was Ola. Yeah, there's no real way. People ask me about this a lot. Like, I have this U.S. citizen relative, and they're either old or they're young or they're disabled, and they need someone to take care of them. And generally, the government doesn't give a shit about that. They don't care. They say the U.S. citizen's free to do whatever they want. If they're 12 years old and they're a U.S. citizen, they can come here and go to school. But that doesn't mean you, mom, or you, dad, get to stay. The two things aren't really related. So that's really how they view those two things. All right, let's say hi to D. What's up, D?
Hi. Did you say Tio? What did you want us to call you, Tio?
Oh, you don't have to call me Tio. I just want people to generally call me Tio. But yeah, anytime. Hi, D.
Okay. Hi, how are you? I have a question.
Looks like you're at the wig store.
Yes, I am.
What's up?
I have a question for an aunt who can, complete. She won't understand if she called you, but she came in 1985, and in 87 she got married, and the husband, the American husband, filed for, I think it's I-30 or whatever the number is.
Yep.
And it was denied because they said there was not enough evidence to prove that the marriage was genuine.
Okay.
And I think they went to court, and the immigration judge granted her temporary temporary protection.
Yep.
Jumping back to 2019, Congress passed a law with Liberians, what is called a Liberian green card, and she filed in 2020, December 17, 2020, and got a biometric in 2021, June or
Wait, what did she apply for in 2020?
the Liberian refugee.
Okay.
I think it's called Liberian Refugee Fairness Program.
Okay.
And it was meant to, I think Congress passed that law to grant Liberians who were eligible their green card, while those who have remained in the country and have not left since 2014. So she filed for it, got the biometric done in 2021, and since then she has not heard anything. And when the lawyer filed it for her, the lawyer did not file her work permit, advance parole, and since watching your program, I understand there's something called a waiver. The lawyer did not file a waiver either. So the question here is, do you think it's been delayed? Her application has been delayed because of the absence of a waiver, because of the previous infraction with INS?
Well, so the big question for me would be on the marriage case. There's two different ways that a marriage case can be denied. One way is, hey, you haven't proven to us that this is a real marriage. That's sort of one thing. That's not great. But what's worse is if they say, hey, we don't believe this marriage. We think this marriage is fake. We think you entered into this marriage just to get an immigration benefit, and we think this is pretty close to fraud. So between those two, which do you think her denial was closer to? Do you know?
I had the paper, but I don't have it with me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is a very interesting case. We'd like to look at it, but we'd want to see all the paperwork. It's hard for me. I've never actually even handled one of these Liberian fairness green card cases.
Okay.
But conceptually, I understand the things that would be necessary. She may indeed need a waiver, but again, it depends on lots of factors that are beyond what you and I like. I would need to talk to her. Maybe we need a translator. We need to do a deep dive into, and not on the show, just like on a call or something, but like really get her whole immigration history, probably request her whole file, and then see what's pending and what's available and what options she has.
Okay, what should I do? Should we call you?
Yeah, just send an email to the office and say, hey, I was on. We want you to say I was on the show with Jim. I have this friend who's got this Liberian. I would just call it Liberian green card case in the message, and then they'll follow up with you.
Okay. So email would be info
at hackinglawpractice.com. Info at hacking, HACKING, lawpractice.com.
Practice with a CE?
Yeah, PRACTICE.
Okay, .com. Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I enjoyed the show. I learned a lot from it.
Awesome. Thanks for watching. All right. Always happy to get an endorsement from someone as fine and upstanding as Ms. D. We're glad she came on the show, and we're glad that she's thinking about her friend. Let's say hi to Ivan. Hi, Ivan.
Hi, Jim. How are you? Thanks for having me again.
Sure. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
What's up?
Yeah, so I just heard someone else ask you questions about the embassy and the NBC. So my question is within the same sort of a realm. I'm trying to prepare for the interview, and so it's employment based green card, and I actually don't know what to expect, what kind of questions they might be asking me. So shall I just give you a quick background?
Yeah, I got distracted for a minute anyway. So yeah, please give me the background and then we can go
Oh
from
yeah,
there.
so I'm a research chemist, and so I applied for the national interest waiver EB2 category.
Yep.
And yeah, so that got approved, and my case got documentarily qualified on the 12th of July. And so the 28th of September, I got a letter saying that your interview is on the 15th of November. So it's like a month in Amsterdam.
Okay, great.
So
are you a Russian national?
I used to be a Russian national. Now I'm a Dutch citizen.
Okay.
However, when I acquired my Dutch citizenship, I was required by the Netherlands government to renounce my Russian nationality, so which I did. And actually, I lost it in January this year, so it's just before this the whole geopolitical drama started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other than that, I think with the NVC it went pretty quickly. I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it took, for some reason, 5 months for the USCIS to send the case to New Hampshire, and they sent me the notice saying that, oh, we will get it. We've sent it, and within 60 days it should arrive. And so that was somehow not 60 days. It turned out 5 months. But then once at NVC, it went pretty quickly. Within like a month, they had everything already on file.
So the question is, what's going to happen at your interview? I think they might give you a hard time at the interview. Hopefully not. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. But I think you have to be prepared to argue the merits of the I-140, even though it's approved. I think you have to go in there thinking, hopefully it'll be a 5-minute, 10-minute deal where they just say, boom, 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 go. But I think they're going to want to inquire into your Russian background. They're going to want to see your old Russian passport. They're going to want to know about the renunciation. They're going to want to grill you on national security stuff. I think that you should anticipate being in there for a while. I think you should anticipate not necessarily getting the visa right away, but hopefully, if you can articulate why the work you're going to do is in the national interest, both remember you have to demonstrate that the work you're doing is in the national interest and that USCIS made the right decision in granting you the national interest waiver in that they allow to avoid having to find an employer and go through the perm process. So it's not just that your work is important, but also that your work is so important that it justifies this sort of faster path. And now, truth be told, they probably haven't had many I-140 national interest waiver interviews. Most national interest waivers are attached to a green card application as opposed to consular processing. So you might even have a situation where you show up and the guy's like, where's your wife? Where's your husband? Where's your spouse? What's going on here? Right? Like, you know what I mean? So as always, be ready for everything and anything. And most importantly, be ready. I mean, you seem very articulate to me. Be ready to articulate why you still are eligible while USCIS made the right to almost treat it like an appeal.
Okay. Yeah, so I have a copy of my entire I-140 petition and the letter and the personal statement. So what I'll do, I will study it the night before just to make sure that I know what was written there. But this, this consular post, it already gave me like B1, B2 visas 3 times.
Yeah.
So they know me over there, and I used to be on F1 status in the US during my PhD.
So you actually have a long history in the United States. So that you should be good to go.
Yeah. And the attorney also, he drafted a memo saying that for this immigrant visa processing, the job offer is not required because it's
Right.
self-petitioned. However, he wrote that I do have a job offer from NIH, and he wrote that you should be able to give him immigrant visa as soon as possible.
So that's great, because there goes your argument. That helps your argument that you should be allowed to avoid perm because the NIH is already waiting for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you're gonna be fine, Ivan. Will you do me a favor and come back on November 16th and let me know how it went? I'd be very interested to hear.
All right. Yeah, sure. And just one last quick thing.
Sure.
Is it necessary to dress in business attire? Because I have this cheat sheet that attorney gave me.
I would dress up like if you're going to church or something or to work. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. And so basically you're saying that, so the consular officers, as opposed to the USCIS officers, do you think they're a little bit more educated? Like it's probably harder to get into the State Department to get that job than the USCIS, right? Do you think they will be able to technically understand some of the details that I will be providing to them about my work, or?
I would hope so.
Okay. All right.
I would hope so, but I'm going to hold my tongue just because I don't know. But I think that it is harder to get a job at the State Department than it is to get a job at USCIS. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Basically, that's it. Yeah, and I will remember to take the renunciation.
All that stuff.
Information that I got.
All right, Ivan. Good luck, buddy.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye. All right. Let's say hi to Pranav. Pranav. Hi, Pranav.
Yeah, hi, sir.
How are you?
Hello. Okay, I'm fine. Thanks for the support to all those communities.
Sure.
My question would be, my spouse back in home, she started her EB3 others category, and the LCA POM was filed. We are still waiting for the POM approval. And
wait, hold on. Okay. So you're in the United States?
Yep.
What's your immigration status?
I recently got my H-1B status.
Okay, and did you apply for an H-4 for your spouse?
Yeah, she recently got her H-4 approved. She got the visa, and she is planning to come to US, but her POM is still in process.
What's still in process?
POM labor certification.
No, forget about all that perm stuff. I don't want to hear about that. I want to talk about the H-1B and the H-4. Did you apply for an H-4 for her?
Yep, she already got the visa.
Then why are you messing around with the perm stuff? Why don't you wait until she gets here?
No, that's not my question. My question is, the employer is now saying she cannot do the adjustment of status once she come over here during the change of status. I was thinking it can be change of status instead of consular processing, because she will be like maybe in a couple of weeks coming to US.
Okay, but you're not listening to my question. My question is, why are you messing around with a green card when she has an approved H-4? Why not do all of this after she's here? Because you're just making things more complicated. She already has an H-4. Yep. Don't do anything to upset that until she's actually here. I don't know why you're doing this whole perm thing.
Because it was started before she got H-4. It was started like 6 months ago. The POM was already started 6 months ago.
Okay, and what's the job that you think she's going to get an and what that you think she's going to get a green card for? What's the job?
It's a CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant.
Okay, all right. And where's she going to work? Who's the sponsor?
The sponsor is in Wisconsin.
But who is it? How do they know about her?
Oh, it's like a recruiting company, like the consulting company.
Okay, and did your
who brings the nursing from international? Who brings the nurse?
Did your wife pay them money?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
It's
so what's your question for me?
My question is, somebody in H-4 status, when they came to US, can they not go for the adjustment of status during the whenever the time comes instead of consular processing?
My understanding is yes, they can.
But the employer is kind of saying, since she is an H-4, they are not going to start the adjustment of status whenever the time comes. They are saying it will go through the consular processing, not the adjustment of status, because of the legal provision. It's not they mention me somebody in H4 cannot go the change of status.
I've never had someone from an H4 adjust status. I don't know the answer to that question, but I think that I don't know why they couldn't.
Yeah, I mean somebody. Okay, it's totally her own GC process. I don't have to relate. It's on me. She is doing by herself. So I was expecting it will be feasible to do the change adjustment of status when she will be in the US under H4 valid status. But that's why the employer is giving a different opinion. So I am not sure on that.
Yeah, that's something I could research. I've never heard that H4s can't adjust status, but I've also never handled such a case. So it's something I don't really know.
Okay. So
all right.
Then, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Bye for now. Sorry I couldn't be more help.
No problem, sir.
See you, bud. All right. Let's say hi to MB. What's up, MB? MB, are you there?
Hey, hi, Jim. How are you? Sorry.
Good. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but your video is sort of jerking around. What's up?
Thank you. Thanks for. Yeah, I was walking around. I just get in my car. So yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. I did talk to you once last time.
Wait, no. Wait, hold on. No driving while we're talking. No driving while we're talking.
Yeah, I was just gonna move it to the shade. It's okay. I'll turn on the AC. Yeah. So here's the thing, Jim. I did ask you before about like an NTA that was, issued by DHS based on overstay.
Mm-hmm.
But they never, filed the case with the court.
Right.
So as you said, I was gonna request the FOIA.
Yep.
But they were like a list, select. So is it requesting like
all immigration paperwork? All immigration paperwork. You want everything they have.
Oh, the A file, like the alien
A file. You want you have to do a FOIA for CBP. You have to do a FOIA for the USCIS. Yeah, you want your complete A file. All immigration paperwork is what we always say.
Oh, because I never filed for the immigration in the past. So do I still have to select the alien files?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and also I heard it takes a lot. If you request the all files, it takes takes like maybe.
But you need it.
So yeah. So do you think? So that's the only option, or I can just go ahead and apply for adjustment status and see.
That wasn't what I recommended. What I recommended is you file the I-130 and try to track down whether or not you're eligible to apply for the green card. I said you could do it, but you might lose the filing fee. It might not be valid. So, we went over everything before. What I think, I don't think anything has changed since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, no. Also, I was going to ask you a question about when it says bona fide marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm not, out of status, I'm not supposed to work, right? So can I like just join my wife's bank, or I have to open a joint bank account? Because if I apply and there is nothing on the account, like, maybe just. So which one is better, like joining her account because there's more?
Well, you don't have a social security number, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so you can't join her bank account.
Oh, I can't join her bank. So do I have to open, like, because I do have account with, with a Bank of America, so I still can open any bank
How did you get an account with Bank of America?
Well, I have both, credit card and debit card without social security, just with my passport and my driver license, like 5 years ago.
So that surprises me. Usually Bank of America are real hard asses about that. What I would do then is I would try to add her to your account.
Oh,
and then,
can I?
And then if you want to develop good evidence, then you have to actually use the account. Just opening an account without using it is worthless.
Yeah, but if I do open it, let's say this week, and then you apply for adjustment status the next month, they're gonna see there is no
But
historic.
there's evidence that you submit at the beginning, and then you're going to have an interview a year from now, and then you'll have 12 months of it. So
12
there's a difference between what evidence you need to have when you file versus what evidence you need to have when you go to your interview.
So they're not gonna ask where did you get the money because you're not working, or they're not gonna ask
Well,
those.
they might, sure.
So I think it's better to join her account in this case then. No?
Because why?
Because all the, all the bills, they're going to her account. Like,
Well, how long have you been in the United States?
I've been here almost 6 years. So
Okay.
this December will be 6 years. Yeah.
And is your spouse a U.S. citizen or a green card holder?
Yes, she's a U.S. citizen.
Okay, so then you need to be completely honest about having worked in the United States for the last 6 years. They're going to want your. I mean, you're not doing this without a lawyer, are you?
Right now, I don't have any lawyer. Do you guys take from San Diego, LA? I mean, this case, the one I have?
Of course. We have an office in San Diego. Of course we do. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you hire us, we'll do the FOIA for you. We'll get the I-130 on file, and then we'll see about adjustment.
Also, we cannot just go ahead and apply for everything, like for the 49. Yeah, because that's the just
You keep wanting me to say yes to that, but I don't want to say yes to that. I don't know for sure.
You're right, because all the lawyers I talk to, I don't have any lawyer right now. I just was, curious, asking what's their thing to do. So some they were saying, you never know. Your A number does not exist, so just apply, and then you will find out if they will.
Yeah, but that's a dumb way to approach things. You should at least do your own investigation. Get the I-130 on file, and then do the FOIA. Like, you can get started on the marriage case, get that out the door, and then file for adjustment whenever you figure out what you figure out.
Yeah, for the marriage case, I do have the bill for the electricity. I put my name on them. I do have all the pictures.
How long have you been married?
Oh, only 1 month. But we've been together for 3 years, and we do have pictures, videos for 3 years.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too worried about what evidence you have right now. I'd be worried about making the case strong for later and when to apply for the green card.
Yeah, okay, because the notice was issued by the DHC, so I was doing the request for the DHC, not for the USCIS and for the ICE. It has to be for DHS, so it has to be for the 3 agencies, because
you want to get down all the if I was your lawyer, I want to know everything I can that the government has about your immigration. That's it.
Okay, and how long do you think they're gonna respond you if you do the FOIA? So
4 to 6 months.
Oh, so we need.
But you don't wait for the I-130 for that.
Oh, okay. So you do the request, and at the same time you apply for the I-131, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, I got it. And then after 6 months, you can apply for the 485, and then for the employment and document.
Yep.
Okay, I get it. And then well, I'm gonna text you an email. Do you have an idea, just an idea? I know it's not good to ask how much it will cost.
Yeah, well, it'll cost at least $5,500, but we probably charge more because it's complicated and messy. So probably somewhere around $6,500 for us.
For us, for everything, adjustments, or all 65 until the appointment, right? The interview. I mean.
Yeah, but that's just for the lawyer. That doesn't include the filing fees.
Yeah, the filing fees are separate. That's $1,700 something. And do I have to travel to San Diego because I'm in LA? So if I
we have cases all around California. No, we can do it all electronically.
All electronically. So where can I contact? And because I have documents.
Yeah, I'll put the email address in the comments right now, and you can just email us right there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and.
All right, thanks, MB.
Okay,
you, buddy.
Thank
All
you,
right, have a good
James.
day.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Bye. All right, let's say hi to Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hi, good evening, Jim.
Good to see you. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing very well. How's your day?
I'm great. I'm great.
That's nice. I'm very quick. I don't want to take too long. So I would like to ask. I came on C1D.
So that's like some cruise
Yeah,
visa.
I was a crewman supposed to be joining the vessel, but I didn't join. I jumped the ship.
Okay.
And I filed asylum. So I'm planning to get married. So I would like to know, in my passport, when I enter in New York, it's showing C1. So I entered as a C1 or I entered as a C1D?
I don't think it matters because I don't think you can adjust based on marriage when you entered on a C1 visa.
Okay, so because my understanding is that if I get the C1, so I can change my status here. If I get C1D, so I have to go India back to change my status. Is this right?
I don't know. I'd have to research it.
Okay.
I thought it's for any crewman visa. I don't know that I didn't know there's a difference between C1 and C1D for purposes of adjustment. I thought everybody that comes on a C can't get a green card based on marriage, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
Gotcha. That's all.
All right, buddy. See you, Neil.
Thank you, Jim. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's say hi to Prince. Prince, you're not driving, are you? You're on mute. Mute. Prince, you're on mute.
I say.
How you doing? What's up?
So this case is actually about my mom. My mom filed for my siblings. I was the one who helped her to file. But one of them came and one of them turned 21 was the case was still in process. So there was an email saying that the Child Protection Act, they trying to cover the other one with the Child Protection Act, and another email came saying that he was denied the Child Protection Act. So my question is, with the Child Protection Act, does it cover everybody who turns 21 was the case is still in process, or it is by case status?
It's not either of those. So the way that you figure it out, there's different factors that go into it. But basically it depends on what their date of birth is, what their priority date is, when USCIS approved it, and then when the visa bulletin became current. So you need all those pieces of information to then calculate what their age is for purposes of adjustment. So it's like a 4-part process. You need their date of birth, you need their priority date, when did the I-130 get filed, when was the I-130 approved, and then when did their visa number become current. And if you have all those things, there's actually a calculator you can use to figure out whether they're considered over 21 or under 21. So it's not that it applies to everybody. It's not that it's case by case. It's actually one of the few things in immigration that involves actual math.
Okay. And because of that, they move the visa category for my brother to the other visa category, 21 and above. And at that time they moved, he was waiting for interview date, and after now he still haven't been called for interview date.
Well, yeah,
and
because his visa category changed and he jumped back years in line. So the first thing you need to figure out is whether or not they're right. Sometimes they make a mistake on CSPA and whether it applies. So you need someone to take a good look at all of it and figure out whether or not your brother aged out or not. And then if he did age out, he's going to have problems because he's not going to be in status for these next couple of years, right? If he's not in the United States.
Yeah, he's not in the United States because the case I-130 was filed somewhere in 2016.
Yeah, so he's still got a way to go probably. But again, you want to make sure the math was done correctly.
Okay. Is there a way I can email you to double check on?
Email me and then give me that information, the date, his birth date, his priority date, his approval date, and then when the visa became current.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Prince. See you, buddy.
Yo.
All right, so maybe we'll do some CSPA math here on a show in a couple days. That would be probably helpful for people to see how that works. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you to my good friend Skyla for keeping things under control in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central, an earlier start. And we'll actually even be here on Friday, I believe, that we're going to do a show all 5 days this week. Don't forget, also around 1 o'clock, maybe we'll be able to show you our new website. So please come back, see us tomorrow. And if you have any questions in the meantime, shoot us an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Thanks, everybody, and have a good night.